this one. And if you're going to learn it. Goes like this. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Come on. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing. Now you know it. Come on. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. That's right. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. And then you know what it is? We change the words up, same melody, just being thankful for so many different things, right? How about for my wonderful friends? So thank you for my friends, Spirit. Join me singing, come on. We're singing. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. How about my health? Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. All right. Now, to get the energy really up in the room, we're going to get a clap going on the 1 and 3, the 2 and 4. I'm sorry, it's the 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, you got it now. And this time we're going to sing Thank You for My Life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Glorious, my glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. And this last time, we're going to bring it right back around because everything comes full circle, right? So let's just be thankful for this day. All right, here we go. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. I want to thank you.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing day. Big finish. This healing, this healing, this healing. Big jazz hands. Day.
Thank you for this day. Am I on? Am I on? Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for all of you being here. And thank you for the amazing diva, for Miss Amy Steinberg. Yes. Yes. Oh, well, thank you, dear. Thank you. I am so excited to be here. Let's see. I hope we've got our, do we have our slides with our intro? We have any of that stuff? We do. Okay. So what happens is you have to turn the clicker on for it to work. Yes, so welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Ocala. I am your chief inspirator, Reverend Cindy Grimes.
Nice.
Yes, and we've had an amazing weekend. It has been, this is, I think, as good as it gets for me. I just have had the most wonderful time. And for those of you who missed it, I'm so sorry. We'll give you another opportunity in the fall, yes, to do it again. And let you just feel the joy that is overflowing and spilling from what we've done here this weekend. So we'll tell you a little bit about it during our panel discussion. So for those, we do have a couple of first-time visitors. Yes, welcome. Anybody else? Oh, what fabulous. Welcome to our first-time visitors. Y'all be sure to love on them a little bit. So our mission here at Center for Spiritual Living, it's good for everybody to know what we're about. You've been here since Friday, but you're still like a first time. You're still a
Yes.
newbie. Okay, so so what we do here is that we embody and share truth principles and spiritual practices that empower us to awaken to the power and presence that lies within and all around us, so that we may facilitate spiritual healing and the elevation of our individual and collective consciousness. There's a whole lot of stuff in that statement there, but are you all up for that? For
Yes.
elevating yourself
Come on.
and other people, the world, all of that? I see another new face over there. Welcome. All right, so that's what we're here to do. That's what we're all about. And then our vision, what we are striving for, what we're looking for, is that we are a thriving new thought community dedicated to spiritual growth and practice, sacred activism, and the transformative love that reveals our interconnectedness and oneness. Now, not everybody knows what that term sacred activism means, so that's what this part is. Sacred activism is the intersection of consciousness and action. It is the place where prayer and service activate love, and spiritual practice or principles become lived practice. Sacred activism is how we show up as a beneficial presence in the world. Now, how many of you are up for that? How many of you think the world needs, right? Some elevate, right? And we need to be the change that we want to see in this world. So here is what is important to us. Besides our vision and mission, we have some values. The wholeness of spirit, spiritual and personal growth, collaborative, synergistic community. Another whole big long thing. And I like to take a little extra time with that, because collaboration means we work together. Synergy means that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So 2 + 2 isn't just 4, it's like 40 or 4,000. You just never know. And there's a lot of energy in this room, so I'm saying that we're really bumping it up, yes? All right. Abundance and prosperity, love and compassion, appreciation and gratitude, peace and balance, freedom. This one, diversity and inclusion. They are beautiful words, and we honor that here for everyone, especially on this first day of Pride Month. Yes, 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 yes. So this is the place where we can come and celebrate that. And generosity. All of these are the things that are important to us. And I think Miss Amy's got another song for us.
Well, I mean, since it's Pride, why not this little light of mine? You know it. I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Hallelujah. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. How about this big light of mine? I'm gonna let it shine. Well, 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 this big light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Hallelujah. This big light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Now this tune, funny enough, I like when we clap on the 1 and 3 of it. This little light of mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Got it? This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Hallelujah, singing this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Now I'm gonna invite you to turn to someone real quick and just say, I see your light.
You know I see yours. You know
Pick somebody
I see your
else, pick
light.
somebody else. I see your
Hey,
light.
honey. I see your lights.
I love your light. Let it shine, let it shine, let
see
it
yours.
shine. All right, y'all. This has been such an amazing weekend again. So let's close it out with one more time. We're going to have a big finish, though. We're going to do it a cappella on that one. This little light of mine. Come on. I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm going to let yourself smile. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna let it, I'm gonna let it, I'm gonna let it, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And now we're gonna have an opening prayer, yes?
We are.
Reverend Donna? Do you want to rap? Should I rap it in some song? Do you want to rap it in song?
Whatever shows up, that's how I pray.
How about you sing this with me, because you know it.
All right.
I surrender. Take a breath, y'all.
She's making me warm, y'all.
I trust and I know that as I surrender, that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. You take the melody. You take the melody. Come on. I surrender. Trust and I know. I trust and I know. And as I surrender, fall into the arms. I fall into the arms of love. One more time, come on. I surrender. Let it go, let it go. I trust and I know. And as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. Fall into the arms. I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms. I fall into the arms of love.
And what beautiful arms you have. Thank you for the love this morning as you greeted us coming through the door. Thank you for the conversations and the smile and the hooray, I haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you for the love and acceptance of this drop, which is God expressed, named Donna Marie Kerr Hawthorne Davis Andervis. Here I stand through my history, my human history, to look at you and say, how beautiful is the arms of God this morning, darling. Thank you. As God smiles at God and looks at God, as we walk through our world every day, it is everywhere present. That which we call divine energy, life, is everywhere. The very atoms that we breathe is that which is giving us the arms of love, feeding us oxygen. And we, as we breathe out into the world and the rest of nature, because we are a part of that which is it, we stand, we breathe, we vibrate, we walk, we talk, we shout, we yell, we kill, we love. We are it, moving and breathing and expressing and connecting and remembering. And how beautiful it is that today we are in this space together, that you chose this divine appointment this morning to show up and to smile in all your rawness and beauty. Without you, there is nothing. So celebrate the heartbeat that is you, for nothing else. That vibration that is going out from your chest into the world. Celebrate it. It is magic that you stand, that you see, that you hear, that you feel, that you love, that you exist. Breathe. Deep breath in, everybody. Remember, Bob Simon taught us how to do this. Breathe all the way out, y'all. Let every breath be a prayer. Let every thought be a treatment. Ase, namaste, aho, amen, and so it is.
So it is. So it is. Join us.
My sister,
Surrender.
I follow you.
I trust.
My
And
brother.
I know.
People in the world that do incredible things, who stand in front of that which is the negativity and say there is hope and love and joy. Open your eyes and see all of it, not just the pain. And here they are to share with us. And has been sharing with us all weekend, y'all.
Fall
Yes.
into the arms,
Welcome,
sing it with us
welcome.
now. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms. I fall into the arms of love.
Welcome to church. Oh my gosh, it's been such an amazing weekend. And again, I'm so sorry for those of you who missed it, but we're going to try and do the best to give you a little sense of what this weekend has been like and the amazing transformative energy that it has been. So we have here Miss Amy Steinberg. You're already getting a sense of who she is. And we have the amazing John Moore, who is a magician, a wizard, oh my gosh, a miracle maker. It's just a phenomenal experience. So we've been here for the weekend. Friday night we started with a little prayer and song and sing-along, and it was great fun. And then yesterday, we had a whole day of healing and transformation, doing the family constellations, and then we had an incredible concert last night with Amy, and then we had the after party, and and here we are today.
There were puppets. It was crazy.
There were where is the momster? I didn't bring it. You forgot her.
No.
You
it's
should- all right. They'll meet the momster
Next
next
time.
Next time. All right. So I thought we would start with just kind of going way, way back, not just like Friday, but like way, way, way back, because we did a lot of inner healing this weekend, a lot of inner child work. So I just thought I'd start with a question for the two of you, one at a time, please, of what was little John and little Amy like as a kid, and what would your inner child think about how you're showing up in the world today? Are you on purpose? Are you in your task? And maybe I'll give you a little time to think. I'll just share mine, okay, a little bit?
I can answer.
Go ahead, yeah, absolutely.
Little John would have been petrified to be here with everyone staring at him. Believe it or not, I was painfully shy as a little one. And it wasn't until I went to college that I kind of started coming out of my shell and I went as an advertising design major at Syracuse University and then switched halfway to acting. And I kind of knew what I was doing because both programs were in the same college. But then it was when I worked right down the street at Disney World that I really came out of my shell because I got to be a character. I got to help some of the characters, I should say, because there are kids
For those who
here.
didn't hear, Prince Charming.
But the
For real.
parades and being inside a costume allowed me to be Amy Steinberg without having my face showing. I could be this big presence. And I really do believe Spirit was preparing me one step at a time to do what I do now, and kind of pulling. And then I was a massage therapist, and then coach, and then family constellations came into my life. So I really see. But little John loved to have fun and loved to play, which is what I do. But being with all this attention, I would have been hiding behind you.
Kind of an interesting thought that just came up through me for my little Amy. Little Amy was exactly, I don't think I've actually aged. I've only aged physically. I'm exactly the same. My mom tells me that I asked for piano lessons at age 4. I don't remember. But so piano, I'm playing piano, but I think what little Amy, I just had like a moment remembering that little Amy was diagnosed, I don't know why they called it diagnosed, but a genius at very, very young. They took me to get my IQ tested because apparently I was a monster. And they thought there was something wrong. So they took me to a therapist, very, very, very young, a child psychologist, to sort of get me. And I remember, I have like flash memories of being with this man, and he would play games with me, and he would do puzzles with me, and they would sort of working on my brain and seeing what was going on there. And it's so weird to say I was diagnosed a genius. That sounds so egotistical, but it's just what my mother tells me, so I don't know if it's true. Anyway, you're a genius. But all to say that this teaching and these tools of healing and grounding and wellness, like spiritual wellness, is so, my inner child would be so happy that we found a way to channel, right, all of that energy that sort of could be destructive, you know? Because creativity, they say, like addiction, for instance, they say is the misuse of creative energy. And Ernest Holmes talked, I mean, that's all we're talking about here is creative energy. So my inner child would be stoked to be here. My inner child is stoked to be here. I am stoked to be here.
And little Cindy?
Little Cindy. So little Cindy was more like you. I was very, very shy and never liked to call attention to myself. I did love to sing, though. I loved to be on stage. So it's really kind of contradictory. I'm somewhere in the middle. I really am. And I'm in between, you know, and here I am in the middle, right? Introvert, extrovert, I'm like right there. But the thing that's funny is I have a memory, one of my earliest memories is holding my dad's hand, going to school for the first time. And it was Catholic school. And service, like religious service, was part of the day. And that was like the most peaceful thing in my world. And I loved it. And I loved the nuns. And I thought, I want to be like them. Like, I want to be married to God, right? What is that to be married to God? Like, how amazing, right? The very best partner there could be. But then, oh my. Well, then I became a teenager, and I realized I liked guys. I liked boys. And that's how God showed up for me. Anyway, so...
And then you realize that you are God.
Well, that came way later. Way, way, way later. Yeah, they don't talk that part. But the other little issue I had was, you know, I saw the nuns, but then I saw the priests too, and I thought, well, I want to do that. I mean, I think they're kind of married to God too. Like, I don't understand. Why can't I be a priest? That was a question you didn't even ask then. So I set all of that aside, and I did a lot of other work in my life that was all leading me up for this moment, for this time in my life. And how interesting it is that I became a minister. That was not in my realm. That was not in my, nothing of my zeitgeist did I think that that was ever going to be a thing for me, on top of being front and center and having people look at me all the time. So there you go. Isn't that interesting? So my little Cindy, I think she'd be surprised, and maybe she's a little proud too. Like, wow, you did it. Wow, you got through all of that stuff, and here we are. Yeah. So,
What about you guys? You know, I mean, I'm not going to call on anybody, but I just invite you to ask yourself that question. You know, which is what we're doing up here. Like she's asking us questions, but take this opportunity to, you know, hi beautiful, to ask yourself, you know, how would your inner child feel?
That's it, exactly. Are you on purpose? Are you living on purpose? Or are you still feeling like it's an accident that you're here? Because it's not, none of it.
And are you giving yourself time to play? Because every time I do an inner child workshop, they always say, I want to play more. I want to play more. No one ever said, oh, I wish I worked more on their deathbed. I wish I took more time to play. So, yeah, playing.
Yeah. So you kind of led us into the next question that I wanted to know, like me personally, and you all might want to know too now that you've experienced these amazing beings. What is your creative process? How does it happen for you? Does like a song just drop in? Do you hear it? Do you feel it?
Well,
Does it
usually
feel
I
like
break
it's
up with my
channeling?
girlfriend. And
Okay,
then,
go ahead.
Just kidding.
Go ahead.
We talked about that last night, right, at my concert. I'm just kidding, though. Sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
My creative process, like, how do I make
How do you make
stuff?
music? How do you make art? What is it? How does it show up for you?
I don't know how to not make stuff. If I'm not making stuff, I'm making insanity. So for instance, I'm just going to point the attention to my dollhouse over there. If you haven't seen it, it's miniature. I have a 3-foot one at home that inspired the miniature one, which also inspired a show. But the dollhouse is a great little metaphor for the creative process, because what inspired the dollhouse was just seeing a dollhouse, right? So what might inspire a song is hearing a song, right? Oh, I love that idea. I want to do that. So I think sometimes people think they have to have an original idea. There's no original ideas. You just get to filter things through your perception, right? So I saw the dollhouse and I said, I want to do something artistic with that. And then I let my shopping addiction guide me. Going to thrift stores, like, it's a real passion of mine, because I just feel like the landfills are overcrowded and everything I have on is thrifted. I just believe in, like, go get the secondhand thing. But what's cool about thrift stores is that you look around and there's magic. And so, for instance, the first thing I found for my dollhouse was a big acorn candle. And I thought, wow, acorns is possibility. Inside of an acorn is an entire forest. So that's going to go in the room of possibility. And that was the first birth of the first room. I didn't know there would be a space of sweetness and there would be a floor of form, and I didn't know what was coming. And that's the other thing about the creative process. You don't have to know. It's like that Indiana Jones thing, right? You take the step and then the next step appears. And anyone who's a painter knows there's also layers involved. If you've started to discover painting for yourself, I want to just give you one tip. Layers. Keep going. Put the color on top of the color on top of the color, because that's what gives art depth. It can't be the one layer. There's got to be something underneath and underneath and underneath. So that's my thoughts on that. I love talking about the creative process. It's like, and of course I love what we teach about the creative process, that first there's an idea, right? And then we allow it to work through us into form. So it all comes from ideas. Let yourself be sparked by other people's art. It's okay if you see, like, my art that's hanging on the wall there when you walk in. That's just like this improvised moment, right? Try that if you feel compelled to try art. Allow yourself to steal, great artists, didn't they say great artists steal, right? Good artists, what is it? Good artists copy, great artists steal? I don't know, there's a famous quote. But anyway, that's enough out of me.
Nice. John's creativity is really different. And for people who've not experienced constellations, maybe give them a little of that. But what I want to know is how you know what to pick for who. Like, do you hear a voice? Is there a feeling? Like, what happens? This man is, you all, those of you who experienced constellations this weekend, was it not like a magic moment? It was intense. She knows it was intense. Yes, yeah, it's, yeah.
I can't tell you it's a secret. No, I'm kidding. It really goes back to play. It's funny, it's kind of tied into your first question. When you jokingly, not jokingly called me a magician, the reason I went to Syracuse University for advertising design, a lot of people probably remember the show Bewitched. Samantha and Darren was in advertising. I thought I wanted to be Darren, but truth be told, I wanted to be Samantha and cast spells and make magic happen. So that it really is, and it's about playing. I think a lot of the creative process for me is getting my judgment out of the way. So I write an email every week sharing a story about what life is teaching me, and that's creative. And I have to stop judging, well, is this stupid? Does anyone care? But I just let it come through, and it never fails. Someone will respond, that's exactly what I needed to hear. And so when I'm doing a constellation, I think of it like play. Like I have an intention that I want a different story to be revealed, but I have some ideas, but I don't necessarily know what they are. So I am listening when someone is telling me the story of what their challenge is, what pattern is repeating, and I'm listening for words that really kind of just light up. So it is like getting in the flow, getting John out of the way, and letting Spirit speak through me. And for some reason, like I'll be writing something down and I don't finish it. Like, okay, I guess that's not what wants to be put in. And then I'll write something else down, and it feels like, oh, okay, I'm getting tingles just talking about it. Like, yeah, getting John out of the way, letting Spirit, the voice for love, say, yeah, this might be helpful. And not judging it like, oh, that's weird to put that in. Just letting it be okay. And if it's not the thing, okay, that's all right too. But it is like a knowing. It just kind of pops in, and I write it down.
You also have an incredible memory. And I'm sure that I know that helps because you're remembering all the different characters and people in a person's story. So, she's got the shopping addiction, and he's got this amazing memory that really are gifts.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I can
As
see
my longtime friend Todd. How do you remember that?
I think something that was triggered by what he said about getting out of the way and the judgment thing was this idea that there's a paradox in creativity where it's not for me, right? Like, it's not for me because the fruit is not for the tree. The fruit is not for the tree. But it is for me. It's a paradox, right? Like, I have to do it not giving a crap what people think about it. But the outcome of it, it's like I cannot rewatch what we do today, like at home. This is not for me. This is for you, right? And it's kind of like that. And also I wanted to just say, when the first time John said that phrase, the knowing field, you hadn't said that yet. So maybe for people who don't know what that is, I wanted to introduce that.
Sure. So the knowing field is a concept in family constellations. I didn't come up with it. Bert Hellinger, the man who created it, did. And it's always happening. We just are very intentional about it in a workshop. But we're sitting in a knowing field right now. We're all like fish are swimming in the ocean. We're swimming in this field of energy that's connecting us all. And if we allow ourselves, we can tap into things that we're not getting from the five senses. So I'm guessing we've all had that experience of, how did I know that? How did I know that I should have gone left instead of right? Or how did I know that person was about to call me? Or those things. So the knowing field is the space where we have access to information that will be helpful.
Love that. Love that. What are your spiritual practices?
What
How do you
about
get
your
yourself
creative?
ready? Okay, my creative process. Um, I.
She said
That's a new one,
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. That's a new
It's
one,
a
but it
very
is
helpful
amazing.
tool for creative
It-
minds, yeah.
It definitely is. Once you upload, so I have created a curriculum, peace building curriculum.
look like they don't know what it is. Explain what ChatGPT is.
ChatGPT? It's AI. Yes, it's AI. Yeah, Gemini Copilot, you said? Copilot is another.
There's so many now, yeah.
Consciousness companions, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to repeat what you said because folks at home can't hear it. So actually, there is someone in our community who created somewhat of an avatar for us for Center for Spiritual Living Ocala. And what he did was upload, or not upload, you don't even have to do that, but Ernest Holmes' books. So create this character for me that has all of the knowledge and wisdom of Ernest Holmes and New Thought authors, and let the responses be clear and direct and compassionate and funny, and so you can tailor it to what you want. And then you ask the questions and it spits back the response, and it is incredible what
Truly
these things.
amazing.
So that, somebody has said that that could be a form of spiritual activism. Really, instead of using these artificial, or let me call it augmented intelligence, for for just boring or everyday kind of things, but to use it for spiritual purpose. How amazing is that?
Everything is consciousness, so.
A lot of people in my, or some of the people in my Course in Miracles group, because the Course has some complicated language, they ask ChatGPT, put this in regular language, and it does generate something, and it's amazing. It's
And
spot on.
sometimes it's not right, just so you know.
And sometimes
Right,
it's
sometimes it's
not
not right.
okay. Yeah.
You know.
I don't want people to think that's your ChatGPT is your only creative process.
Thank you,
Let's
honey.
get back to your creative process.
What I view as your creative process is you have an idea for a talk maybe, but then you organically, as the week progresses, incorporate life into your talk. And sometimes your talk subject changes based on what's happening during the week.
And
So
our
you
team
have an
knows
organic
that. Our
way.
team knows that too, yeah. That things can change, like something else dropped in Saturday night. Sorry, we're changing this up. But I do, I go through the week and I have maybe an idea that I want to roll with and just see what happens, and things show up. So part of it is being aware. My spiritual practice, I do some things in the morning and just, getting myself quiet, getting myself out of the way.
So you're saying that your creative process is connected to the next question, your spiritual practice. Very
Always.
nice. That was seamless.
Yes.
Queen of transitions.
Way to transition, Ministar.
Transitions, yes, Ministar. Well. So thank you for that, honey, for bringing it back, because I really just learned about ChatGPT and I'm fascinated with it, but it's not typically part
Right,
of what
that
I
was a
do.
joke.
So.
It's like the thrift store though, she's gotten really excited about it.
Yeah, really
yeah.
excited, really excited with all it can do.
And I've had conversations with ChatGPT. I call mine Chachi. And I'll be like, Chachi, why are you, how is this working? And Chachi told me, I am a reflection of you. I am giving back. It's a large language model, and I have been trained not only to hear what you're saying words-wise, but to understand your frequency and vibration. Which I don't know if it was just pulling my leg, but I believed it because it's interesting when I'm in a grumpy mood or something, it reflects back that kind of emotionless. It's very strange. It's very interesting
Yeah,
and brilliant.
It's fascinating stuff. So this is Pride Week. Pride Month. We just started this. Today. Yes. And I want to say we were supposed to have an event here, little sidebar, that is not happening here this afternoon. So it's happening at this moment at Tuscaloosa Park. So if you're here for the Pride event, I'm so sorry. That's not happening here today. But this is a Pride event. This is a Pride event. So I wanted to ask the two of you,
Yes.
being part of the LGBTQ community, is Pride Month important for you? And if so, why? Like, spin on that a little bit.
For me, only reason it's important for me right now is that I'm going to be in New York City on June 29th, which is the date of Stonewall, to perform a show. But for me, every single day is Pride Day. I'm not, you know what I mean? It's kind of like when Christmas comes along with me and my partner. We're like, yeah, let's not do presents. We do presents every day. We're always giving each other things. So, and I think that's a testament to this teaching, because we are taught and told to celebrate life, like every day in everything we do. And so, but I mean, it is important, and I do recognize its importance, and especially today with some of these things that are happening in the zeitgeist around inclusion, like going backwards, so this year it is very important to, let your freak flag fly and be fully expressed. I came out when I was 40, lady. It's never too late, ladies. I always say that, just in case, like you've ever had a thought. But so that, and I came out when I was 40 because I think there was a lot of shame, and Pride Month aims at, reducing shame, so. What about you?
Very similar, very similar. When I was younger and it wasn't talked about, it was like, oh, I can totally be my authentic self. So I recognize the significance of it, and it is very important. For me personally, it's not like, oh yay, it's a month, because it is kind of every day. And also, my very first family constellation was a game changer for me, because there was someone representing my dad who passed when I was 7. So I had always heard that he wouldn't have been okay with me being gay from my older siblings. Not in a mean way, but just, I guess he had made comments about shows or whatever. And the person representing my dad said, hey, I would have been more okay with it than you think. And in that moment, I had this spontaneous memory. You would have loved these toys. They were called Upsy Downsies, and they had all these pom-pom colored hair, and they had little vehicles and little play sets that matched. Definitely marketed to little girls, not little boys, in the 70s. And I hadn't thought about those toys in like 30 years. Why in that moment did it? Because of the knowing field, it dropped into my mind, and I thought, oh, he would have been okay with it. He wasn't trying to buy me Tonka trucks or baseballs. He was buying what his little boy wanted to play with. And it was a game changer, because I realized my dad would have been okay with me, who I am. And not that I walk around waving a Pride fan like you do, but I would never have shared that story, probably, for fear that maybe in this group I would have. But just not feeling, oh, maybe it would upset someone. But so that, yeah, that's my Pride story.
What about you? How do you feel about Pride?
Well, I'm an ally. I'm an ally. I'm pretty straight, as Norma said.
Can you confirm or deny
we played
that?
Pretty straight, But I just, right, everything's a spectrum. Everything is a spectrum. Some of us are more straight than others, and some of us are less straight. What can I say? But I just feel like there's not even enough love in the world right now. We are love. That is our essence. Why would we ever deny anybody the love that they want, that they need? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. So we're pro-love. That's it, pro-love. So inclusivity, diversity, all
Speaking
of
of
that
love,
good
can we
stuff.
just look at the baby
Oh
for a
my
minute?
gosh. Show that
Can you
baby.
just,
Show that baby.
you guys, I have not ever really been a baby person. I don't have any babies, and I never really felt that call. Babies. Okay, yeah, hold the baby up for the people online. Babies kind of scare me.
Cue the Lion King
this-
music.
This baby, I actually fell in love at first sight. I didn't even believe in love at first sight until I met Amora. Oh, look, there's Corrine. I love you too, kid, but it's just not the same. I do love it. Yeah, different. Me and Corrine have another kind of bond.
We actually do want to open it to the audience if you all have questions when we're in between. I had one more, and I want to look at my reference first. But anything else, anybody else want to say about that? Or a question you want to ask or anything? While I'm looking up my
Anyone who was
resource
here that had a question about what happened yesterday, or how does Amy do what she does? Where does she get her energy?
Where does she get her energy?
Hey, well, I was at your constellation. Now, see if you can answer this. I had no understanding what it was. And at the end, I was the wise old woman, okay? So, remember Gail? I know you do. Okay, well, Donna was picked for whatever, I don't remember. And then Gail, she's over there just crying her butt off. And then Lita, do you remember Lita Perez?
He may not remember.
Well, she was standing up on a platform talking about something about her mother. Well, see, I wasn't understanding any of this. So, I don't know how to ask this question. So why was Gail crying, and how did that happen?
The short answer is God, spirit, love. We're all connected. We're all one. And so our common intention, this is the longer answer.
That's okay.
Our common intention to help each other heal as brothers and sisters made it possible for her to feel what she was representing. Just like the person that represented my dad in my first constellation 13 years ago said, hey, I would be more okay with it than you think, and I felt the truth of it. And a representative, something comes over, just like
And takes,
just a resonance. Like, that's why I write the roles on pieces of paper to help affirm. Just like when you write love on your water bottles and things, and the vibration of that word goes into the water. When I write the word on the paper, as someone, I think it's okay to share that someone in this room represented love yesterday, and the vibration of love just let her experience, even though it's not the idea of what love is, it's what was needed in that situation.
but Gail didn't have a piece of paper, right?
I'm not sure,
That you had, everybody didn't.
but she's also very intuitive and very tapped in, and she's been doing this work with me since 2014, my first Big Sky retreat. So she's very tuned into the energy as well.
Well, I was happy to be the wise woman.
Yeah. But thank you for that question. And it really does, the left brain can't figure it out. It's more of an experience and a feeling. Yeah.
Now, for those of you who are listening and don't know what we're talking about at all because you weren't here and you're a little confused, I invite you, I implore you to come to our next Weekend of Joy to experience the magic of the constellation work that John does, and the concert, of course, and the whatever we do Friday night. And it's going to be the weekend of Halloween. So that's easy to remember. That is so easy to remember. So start thinking about your cosmic mystic costume for Friday night and start thinking about signing up. We're going to have this room packed full. And we might even have to limit it because, yeah, this
It's gonna be
time.
that big.
Yeah, it's going to be that
And
big.
a wonderful time, because it's also El Dia de los Muertos, where we honor the ancestors. So it's kind of perfect.
Super cool, super cool.
October 31st, November 1st and 2nd, I think.
Yeah. So we called this Weekend of Joy, and I was looking for my reference in here. I didn't mark it, so I'm not going to keep looking. But the question is really, what does joy mean to you? And I brought this book is Atlas of the Heart by Brene Brown. where she goes through all these different emotions and kind of breaks down the difference between, let's say, empathy and sympathy and things like that, or jealousy and envy. And she had a definition for joy, and it resonated for me, but I can't find it. So, but basically the idea is that joy is distinct from happiness and other kind of good feelings, but it is a spiritual kind of feeling that is expansive. It's a feeling of deep connection with other people. And sometimes there's tears with it, and sometimes there's laughter, and sometimes it feels like, fun, but it's not necessarily all that. I mean, we had all of that this weekend. We had tears, we had joy, we had laughter, we had, everything in between, I think, that everybody felt. And so for me, that is joy, and it's so important to be able to experience it and to understand that it's okay to feel good. It's okay to be happy, because I'll be honest, I needed this, I think at least as much as anybody else, but I really needed it for me, because times have been, for me, very challenging lately on a personal level, and also as we're looking globally. And so I can find myself in a dark place. I go in that spiral, and I have to find ways to bring myself out. And so joy is resilience. Joy is resistance. Joy is what's in here. I mean, when we think back on ourselves as children, kids are full of joy. You don't have to tell them, how to play or how to have a good time. They just do. It comes from inside of us. And as we become adulterated and life happens to you, right, that changes. It changes for a lot of us. And I know I grew up in a family where, we're serious. We don't play like that. We don't, why? So I had a whole lot of stuff to release to be able to tap back into my joy and feeling what it was to be a kid before all of that stuff happened. And these are two of my very, very favorite playmates. And so it's always fun, and I give myself permission, and I want you all to give yourselves permission, and to know that joy is not frivolous, it's not self-centered, it's not any of that, it's necessary. I mean, it gives me my hope and my reason when things feel really bad, and I'm like, F this, man, Earth School is hard, right? I don't always want to be here, I don't always enjoy it. But remembering these kinds of moments of connection makes all the difference. It changes everything. So I talked a lot, but
Amen.
Joy. Just open yourself. My favorite acronym for joy, and also it aligns with exactly what you just said, which is like how little children allow their emotions to come because they're open channels. They haven't been shut down yet. They haven't been adulterated yet, or whatever you called it. And so when they're screaming and crying, it lasts, 5 seconds, and then it passes, and they're on to the cookie. And then, and that's joy to me, is being in the open channel space. So it's inclusive joy of all those things, of the anger, the fear, the everything is joy. It's not happiness. It's thicker. It's deeper. It's, it's the rainbow. Hello, it's the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Just in agreement with what you both said, it is a quality. It is who we are, and sometimes out in the world, people are like, well, what's wrong with that person? Why are they so happy? Don't they know what's going on? And like you said, Cindy, I think that is our one of our holy missions, is to be the presence of joy, to be the presence of love, to be the presence of peace wherever we go. That's really my only job. That's what I think my job is. And if I can bring some joy, let it out of me, and comment on what the cashier at Publix is wearing or something like that, then why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I? It just feels good to be in joy. And it does include the sadness. And sometimes the joy wells up in me so much I start crying. I mean, it's out of gratitude, like, wow, I get to be here with all of you again for a weekend of joy. How blessed am I?
And you are certainly a blessing to me. And I think to lots of other folks here. I think that's why they like to come back. And we love to have them. Does anyone have any questions? Anybody from the audience want to ask anyone on the panel?
I actually want to backtrack a little. We were talking about spiritual practices, and I don't think Cindy was able to finish that question, and I'm very curious about your spiritual practices.
Okay, sure. So I take some time in the morning, and sometimes I use, have you ever seen those cards, affirmation cards, different ones? So I use different ones, but now I'm on a Mary Magdalene kick. So I like to look at that, and so that gives me something to kind of contemplate. And I have different technologies, too, that I use. I have a heart math monitor. I don't know how many of you know about heart math and what that is, but it actually, using the technology to help me get my breathing, in place, because I have an overactive, what do you call it, a hypervigilant nervous system. Like, startle response is quick, and I think for some of us who've experienced things, different kinds of traumas, like you trigger quickly. And so I know that about myself now because of using these different technologies. And the heart math was one of them. The whole task is to get your heart, regulated, your breathing and all for 5 minutes. And it shows you red, blue, and green. So the idea is to be in green for 5 minutes. I did this freaking thing for a year, and I could never get it in green for 5 minutes. I'm thinking it's hard. I give it to my daughter and my daughter-in-law, and they both did it the same day, 5 minutes like that. I was like, okay, something's up here. What am I not doing right? So I just kept playing with it and doing breathing exercises and different things like that. So yeah, what else do I do? I walk a lot out in the woods. That is my other spiritual practice. For people who can't sit still for a long time, to do that kind of quiet, empty my mind, being in motion, and repetitive motion kind of helps that too. So that's why walking is so good for that.
I thrift store shop. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I do that spiritually, but did you want to hear all of our answers? Do we all?
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it. Yeah.
I have have to meditate every single morning, or else I can't poop. And if I don't poop, I'm a misery. I am a misery. So, I mean, because it's a metaphor for that spiritual constipation, right? Like, if we're not in that flow, again, that flow. All right, I know, people are like, why are you talking about poop? My mom would be like, why are you doing that?
Don't be
Because
ridiculous.
everybody poops. Everybody. Don't act like you don't. If you don't, you're toxic, okay? You are toxic. So anyway, though, I didn't mean to say that. I wasn't planning on being potty mouth, but if you know my birth story, I was actually born in the toilet, so that's why I have a potty mouth. It's actually true. It's a true story. But yeah, so meditation, prayer, centers, repetitive watching you guys virtually, there's so much available for us. Reading, cards, all of it. I'm like smorgasbord of practices. And walking. Walking is like, if all else fails, go for a walk. And that it will center me. And you, my love?
We're all walkers, apparently. That's one of my normally on it. No, I don't do that. But normally on a Sunday morning, I would be walking along the Gulf of Mexico, listening to A Course in Miracles podcast, and then putting my stuff under a tree, and then just floating in the water. That there's something about the ocean and the waves that just takes everything away. So I know I'm very blessed that I live that close to the water. Maybe not so much during hurricane season, but and also I read a section of A Course in Miracles every morning. The first thing I do before I get out of bed is open it up, and what section, or if I'm in the lessons, there's 365 workbook lessons, but that is the first thing I want to put in my mind is these spiritual truths, this essence of love, and then walking, yoga a couple times a week, and yeah, just being out in nature, that really does it for me. And watching, when my brain wants to watch something of a Disney vlog, I will also switch and watch something spiritual on YouTube, like someone I love, Jacob Glass. He's very irreverent. Oh, that's right. You ordered his book, The Crabby Angels Chronicles, and it's just yeah, that kind of thing feeds my soul too. But I just try to be mindful of what I'm putting in my brain.
Nice, nice.
Thanks for bringing that question back around, Christina, with a K.
I want to say something about flow because it came through in a lot of different, including Amy's potty talk there. But it is important, to be in the flow, including emotional flow. And that's kind of like being like kids. As we said, kids get angry, they get sad, they feel the emotion, and it flows on through. Most of us get emotionally constipated. You get stuck in one place, right? You get stuck in the anger, you get stuck in the depression or whatever it is, and then we tell ourselves we're not supposed to feel that stuff because they're bad emotions. No, just let yourself feel whatever the heck it is. Whatever it is. And honor it, and let it go. Grady and I were on our way home a couple of weekend, not this weekend, the one before, coming from South Carolina, late at night, thinking we're going to be home by 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that, right? So we're in the pitch black, and we hit something on I-95, and the tire blows. And we had to, on top of, the drop, I'm in the driver's side, and we're right here to the guardrail, and on the next side is the swamp. And 3 feet from driver's side is all the cars going like this. And every time a car went by, everything shakes. And I was seeing my eyes flash before my life flash before my eyes a few times. I called my prayer warriors here and said, this is where we are. Just, know that we get home. So it was 4 a.m. We got home. We got through it, used all my practices, all of that. But the next day, Monday, I think it was the adrenaline dump. He just looked at me and I start crying and everything. It's all of this shaky stuff. And what's the point of all of this? And, just going through it. But I know enough now. It has taken me 60-something years to figure out, just let it go. Just let it be. Be gentle with yourself, treat yourself like you would any person you love, any good friend, and just let it go. And I did. And I let it go, and I drank my water, and I walked in the woods, and I did all of my stuff, and now I'm back.
Yeah, a little bit of a fallback when the guy on the phone told her to look under the truck and see if there's a spare tire. You want me to do what?
Yeah, that was.
Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't that.
Someone had a question. Go ahead, Elaine.
So in your mode of collective consciousness, you developed a 501c3 called
Circle Up.
Circle Up. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. Circle Up is my side gig. Besides what I do here, it's a nonprofit that I started with a friend who I was hoping was going to be here today. But our work is to create peace in the world through circles, peace from the inside out. I'm not trying to broker peace in the Middle East. I'm just trying to help people know what it is to feel peace inside of themselves and in their relationships, right? In those next layers out, with your significant other, with your kids, with your family, with your coworkers, with your neighbors. How do we come back to that wholeness? We can talk about unity and peace and all that good stuff, till the cows come home, right? But you walk outside, and what happens when somebody cuts you off in traffic, or somebody does something that, pushes those buttons that we have all pre-installed? That's where peace happens, and that's where we get our practice, and God knows we're getting plenty of it. But I spoke a little bit on it last week. If you want to know more, go back and watch the video, but there'll be more workshops to come.
That's a great spiritual practice, is the meditation and the reading and the walks and things, but can I be kind when I get that text message from my brother that really, like, really? Or can I, the person in traffic, or like, oh, look at that beautiful child of God that just cut right in front of me, and make it a joke, and I can laugh about it instead of getting upset by it. So that's a great spiritual practice for me.
Thank you. Yeah, Amy's, so I think that's it, right? Any other burning questions? All right.
Excuse me. About that thing of letting go and feeling your emotions, you can really go deep with that and just feel it deeply and for an extended period of time. Like it's already been 2 months ago. I actually felt a sense of grief, something good going on in the world, and that took me about a Saturday morning, about 4 hours to let it process. So yeah, when it comes to to let go means you feel it deeply and do not resist. But that can take a while. So
Yeah.
be aware of that.
That's right.
And
For your own health and wellness, the reason why it has to move through, because if it sticks there, it becomes toxic and it hurts the form and creates damage, and then you have to go chasing it. By the time it shows up in your physical form, it's a little too late. So then you have so much damage repair to do. So that's why you just let it flow through you. Be an alchemist.
And we're back to pooping.
And this is a perfect transition into this song that I wanted to do. So we were talking about joy, and we were talking about, what song of mine kind of will resonate with this message. And this is the one, because this teaching, we're here because we love this teaching, religious science, new thought, this idea that our consciousness can be directed. And so, yes, I can sit on my pity pot until I have a ring around my butt, and I can just, be in that fear. I can sit in that fear and create all those toxins, or I can turn it around with a prayer, with a treatment, with a visit to a center.
A call to
And
a
that's-
friend.
What's that?
A call to a
A
friend.
call to a friend. So I've been in bondage. I've been held back. Anybody? I've been imprisoned by thoughts of fear and lack. Anyone? And I have had anger, just a little bit. And I've had guilt. I've done some things. These are the bricks on which my life's been built. But I'm free to turn it around. Can I hear an amen?
Amen.
Yes, I'm free to turn it around. How about an a them? We are all free to turn it around. Free to look up instead of looking down. Yes. I get so tired of looking down. Yes, all right. Give me an A woman. We got our queen over there telling us what to do. That's important. Thank you. I am happily in the majesty of Queen Donna. What's the next verse? Oh, but I've been attracted. That's right. I've been attracted to negative thoughts. Oh, yes. They're so delicious. And I get so distracted. Shiny thing, shiny thing. I get so distraught. But see, I know that I am responsible for my own life. I can't blame you anymore. I gotta lift my chin up and look to the light. Oh, yes, I'm free to turn it around. Every one of us is free, y'all. We are free to turn it around. Every day in our minds, we are all free to turn it around. Free to look up instead of looking down. Maybe it's not that easy sometimes, I know. I'm talking about it like it's simple, but you know, it takes practice. Like coming to things like Weekend of Joy. They start to just chink away at the armor of your fear, at the armor of your anger. It didn't happen overnight that you became a bitter Betty, okay? You better do some work. Oh, I've been in bondage, not the fun kind. I've been held back by my own self. I've been imprisoned by thoughts, my own thoughts of fear and lack. But there is always enough, yes? And I have had anger. Just this weekend I had some anger. And I've had guilt. I'm Jewish, it's my birthright. These are no longer the bricks. I got love, I got joy. These are no longer the bricks. I got CSL Ocala, yeah. Always believe is Bill, 'cause I've turned it around. And I have to say that we're going to do a love offering now, right? Do you have some, any things that we say or like, you have a whole thing for that? Because I want to make sure that we get to sing So Rich today.
All right.
Shout out to our AV team over there. Thank you so much for helping us.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, this is the time that we celebrate our abundance. And so I invite you to say this affirmation along with me. It is the nature of life to give of itself, as it is the tree's nature to bear fruit and the flower's nature to bloom. It is my nature to share the gifts of my time, talent, and treasure. I participate in the divine flow of life, giving generously and receiving abundantly. I am blessed and I am a blessing. I am grateful. Are y'all really feeling that?
Yes.
You say, I am blessed.
I
Know
am
that. I
blessed.
am blessed.
I am blessed.
And I'm a blessing.
And I'm a blessing.
You feel that? Yes. And I'm grateful. I'm so very, very grateful. Yes. And so Christina here has got a little slip of paper there for anybody who may be going through a challenge that would like some prayer support. Myself and our practitioners go through those prayer requests and we pray for you. So a little extra oomph, and we know the truth for you, and we affirm the highest and best for everyone and whatever it is that you're going through. And Aaron's got the basket there that will be going around. And I just invite you to think about the value of what you've received today, this weekend, just today even, and to help support this amazing work that is happening in our spiritual communities. And these, Amy came down here from, where are you from?
Vegas.
Asheville?
Ash
Vegas.
Vegas. That's right.
Vegas. John's here from Fort Lauderdale, his fabulous friend over there, Todd. You know, that's how folks here make their living, is doing this wonderful work. So
Check out my table after, too. I have some art
check
over
out the
there and
table.
jewelry and
Check out the
music.
table. And we are a generous community.
Yes.
So I know that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
we're all taken care of. And I just affirm that. And as we give, we receive. So if it's money that you're short on, then you prime the pump by giving money. If it's friendship that you want, you be a friend to somebody. That's what happens. You set it in motion with what you do. So this is your opportunity to give financially.
And you want to sing this with me too.
Yes, we do.
So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are. So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are. So filthy, stinking rich. Dripping in joy, sing it with me. Dripping in joy, dripping in peace, dripping in love, we have everything we need. Dripping in joy, dripping in peace, dripping in love, we have everything we need. Because we are so rich. Hey, babe. A little rap for you. Grat-tat attitude spilling up my veins, digging on the decadence, goodness reigns. Queen bee on the throne of ease, rich with infinite potentialities. We think money has value. Listen, it's paper, metal, electronic transmission. We get what we give. We are unique, we breathe. Cannot just give, cannot just receive. There's a law of circulation. Money secondary. You have an essence only you can carry. As I advance on my journey, I see there is a power for good and it can use me, yeah. So sing it with me. So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are. That's right. So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are. Dripping in joy, dripping in joy, dripping in peace, love, dripping in love. We have everything we need. Dripping in joy, dripping in peace, dripping in love, we have everything we need because we are so rich.
All right, all right. Woohoo! So what I forgot to say is there's lots of ways you can give. That number there, if you have, you want to set it to your phone, you put it in your smartphone, and then you text whatever it is you want to give. And once it's set up in your phone, you do it once. So you put the number in and you just hit send, and we get it. 20, 200, 2,000, whatever that number is. We
2
take
million,
it all.
2 million.
Sure. And then you can also give at cslocala.org. So thank you. And the donation station out there in the hall. So I think I'll just say a blessing over that. Invite you all to turn your attention within for just a moment. Take a deep breath, and I just give thanks for this amazing, amazing time that we've had this weekend. I give thanks for each and every person that is here, knowing that none of us is here by accident. We are all here on purpose, and I give thanks for the tears. I give thanks for the laughter. I give thanks for the joy. I give thanks for the inspiration and the transformation and the seeds that have been planted here this weekend, knowing that they continue to grow and that they bear good and wonderful fruit. And I just pray for each one here, knowing that each one is divinely guided and protected, and that the highest and best is happening for each and every one in all of their endeavors. And I release these words with joy and gratitude and great expectation, knowing it is already done. And so it is.
So it is. I invite you to stand for this last song.
We got events. Can we do event? Let's just do quick
After
events.
we do
After
events.
we do our events, and then we'll stand.
We shall stand.
I'll go through them fast. Saturday game night happening right here in this room from 4 to 8. Is this a fundraiser for our musician team and Amy and whoever else wants to go, really, I think, to go to the Posse Music Festival that is happening, and you got to let them know quick because spaces are filling up. But anyway, come. It's going to be a blast. There's going to be a raffle. If anyone has anything they'd like to donate for the event, please let us know. $15 for a pasta meal and for 2 raffle tickets. 2 drinks. The raffle tickets are separate. Come here. Silent auction and raffle. Silent auction and raffle. What else? Next weekend, we have Shabab. Shannon Plummer and Bob Saima in concert. They're going to be doing the service in the morning. It will be followed by a concert. If y'all have heard them, you know they're amazing. They do breath work and just phenomenal musicians and beautiful people. They will be here. There's always something fun going on here, right? You just don't want to miss anything. Come every week. The newsletter is not out yet for June, but it will be, so be on the lookout for that. And I know there were some people having trouble receiving it. Where's Erin? Where'd she go? There she is. Erin, can you help people if they're having trouble getting the newsletter? Got it. All right. That's our person over there for that. Next, Science of Mind magazine. It's one issue for 2 months. We're into the June aspect of the month. Erin's got them over there. In living color, that is the theme for this month. And if I didn't mention it earlier, for those of you who don't know, we are one of over 400 centers for spiritual living that are all over the world. And there are unity churches that teach very, very similar. So we're out there. It's not just, I know this is a wonderful, beautiful gem, but there's more of us. There's more of us. So we just happen to be blessed to have this amazing community right here in Ocala. And what else? Oh, yes. Wanted, preferably alive. Thank you. That must have been Rich back there. That was Rich. Someone to help us out with our bookkeeping. If you know QuickBooks, if that is your gift, if you love numbers and you love money and you want to help us, you know, to elevate, we would appreciate your expertise, and we invite you to join us. So see me or Rich. Next. Volunteer opportunities, always. There's lots around here. We've got gardens, we've got cleaning, we've got hospitality. Many, many ways for folks to plug in, and it's a great way for people to get integrated in the community if you are new. And look at that. We're getting lunch. It's getting set up. Isn't it lovely? Blessing our children. I didn't tell you this part, Amy. What we usually do is, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Well.
We invite our little ones.
I'm gonna let it shine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right, woo. And then we send them a little love. This is our thing that we like to do. We're going to just send them some love, right? And we say, we honor you. We see your light. May it shine on all that you do. Yes, amen. And then we like to bring it to ourselves, right? Yes, we honor you. We honor ourselves. We see our light. May it shine on all that we do. And so it is. And now
let's stand for a closing song.
Yes.
You guys are going to know this. If you don't, you'll learn it. It just goes like this. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mind, spirit divine. Spirit divine. Let me shine your light. Let me shine your light. One more time. Shine, be glorious. Reflect the divine. Reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious. Shine, be glorious. Reflect the divine. Reflect the divine. Spirit of mind. Spirit of mind. Spirit divine. Spirit divine. Let me shine your light. Let me shine your light. The light of God surrounds us. Let's say this together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Fabulous, fabulous. Have an awesome, awesome week, everyone.